All right, summer solstice, June 21st. In the Northern Hemisphere, it's our longest day and our shortest night. Yay! The sun is reaching its fullest expression. Now, for me, the solstice, the equinox, these are not just days, these are portals. The day, the 21st, the solstice day, is like the gateway, the doorway into a portal, into a season of transformation and transition. But we're also recognizing all that has come to the light. Keep in mind that the winter solstice is what is our potential. The summer solstice tends to symbolize manifestation, things coming into fruition, blooming into existence. Winter is our time to reflect, what could I become? Summer is like, let me show you. Summer solstice represents vitality, fertility, abundance, visibility, achievement, and celebration. We aren't paying attention to the seed anymore. We aren't even paying attention to the sprout. We're paying attention to the whole damn flower. Because at some point, growth becomes expression. So think of the summer solstice as, like I mentioned, it's a threshold moment, but it's also a chapter when our intentions have kind of reached their culmination point. If you think about the light, sure, it illuminates and highlights the goodness, but it does also highlight what still remains in the darkness, what still exists in the shadows. And that means our limiting beliefs, our scarcity mindset, old identities, old beliefs about ourselves, old relationships. The hidden becomes visible. But like I said, we want to pay attention to the whole bloom. So what has reached the light? Not what needs fixing, not what needs adjusting. What is already blooming and what is already serving you so well? What is working in life? We focus a lot on what we need to fix, on the problems, on what's missing. Use this portal to focus on what is working. And that's not just for our personal lives, that's within our communities, that's with the people, the relationships around us. So, solstice, peak illumination, maximum light, maximum visibility. That also means frequencies amplified, frequencies heightened. That goes for energies within the physical and the unseen. This means that dreams can heighten, become a lot more vivid. It also means our intuition amplifies, energy of nature spirits, our spirit guides, our ancestors. Those energies become a little bit easier to perceive, a little bit easier to connect to. Maximum light creates maximum visibility. So you might have already noticed that the inner voice is getting louder. The psychic perception and awareness is sharpening. Connection to spirit, amplifying. Just this connection between the physical and the unseen, feeling a little bit more heightened. If you want to explore a little bit more on that, it is a good time for learning, expanding, right? I do have a self-paced course. I'll leave the link in the video description that you can explore. There's a free preview so you can see if you vibe with the course, but it's all to help sharpen that intuition, build that connection to spirit, build the connection to your inner voice, your inner knowing, help to boost creative frequencies and expressions, like perfect energies to boost that connection to the unseen. The other cool thing that I like about this season, this portal, is that we are in this vibe of being seen, being out. We're out in the streets. We're feeling a bit more social. We're feeling a little bit more energy. Thank goodness. With our beautiful sun in the sign of Cancer, we also have Mercury and Jupiter also in Cancer, amplifying those Cancerian themes right now. When we think of Cancer energy, I think people tend to think like soft and nurturing, like a nice cozy little blanket. It's like homey vibes, warm soup. But Cancer energy is actually a force. It's a force of protection. Cancer energy rules family, roots, our ancestry. It's emotional security. It's our home. It's memory, community, and belonging. Jupiter expands everything it connects with, everything it touches. Mercury makes it conscious and communicative. The sun illuminates it. So collectively, one interpretation to tap into all that energy is how we are redefining what our home feels like, what it means to feel at home. So it's not just our literal families, it's also redefining our chosen family. It's redefining, reconnecting even with our spiritual family, our spiritual communities, our friendship networks, local connection, local community. And we've been paying attention to this for years now, right? Like we're in an active collapse of systems of oppression, systems of divide, systems that are meant to be caring for us, protecting our earth, protecting our home, that are not doing that. They're not understanding the assignments. They've created their own disgusting agenda. We the people were like, no. The people are building new villages. The people are building new communities. The people are building new networks. We are tending to the land. We are tending to our people. Now, I mentioned how Jupiter, the influence of Jupiter right now, right? Everything it touches expands. So I want you to think of how I said, those frequencies being amplified. So Jupiter's going to expand our frequencies. Jupiter's going to expand what we are feeding, what we are tending to, what we are nurturing. So I want you to think, whatever you have been focusing on, whatever you have been feeding, that will expand, that will grow. I'm not necessarily talking about what you want. I'm talking about what you are feeding. Fear amplifies, creativity amplifies, isolation amplifies, connection, gratitude, resentment. It all amplifies. So, what garden have you been actively watering? What have you been feeding? And maybe we got to pull a couple weeds. Maybe we got to change our fertilizer. But the energies influencing us this solstice is going to be feeding whatever it is we've been focusing on. Now, let's talk about the vibes of Cancer. Cancer being a water sign. Water is the great teacher. We are in a fire year, right? Year of the fire horse. So it's been a spicy, heated year. Now I say water being the great teacher because water teaches things. The water energy right now is going to teach us what fire cannot. Fire transforms by force. Water transforms by persistence. I mean, think about the way water moves, right? Like it remembers, it creates paths, it adapts, it really dissolves boundaries. So reflect on that, because water being a great teacher, water being a very powerful instrument and tool for healing and cleansing, what are you feeling that you know water will support what you need to cleanse? Water will support what you energetically need to dissolve. Remember that water being connected and associated with memory, with healing, with cleansing. It's emotion, it's wisdom, it's intuition. How can you mindfully and intentionally work with water? The really nice grounding aspect, right? Because water can be quite emotional. You might feel a little tender and a little weepy. But as we enter this peak of the solstice, the moon is in Virgo, which amazing, because Virgo energy is so incredibly grounding. It's also very purifying. It's a purification vibe. But not only is Virgo purification, it's also service and stewardship. So remember I mentioned how we are redefining the way we, the people, are tending to the land. It's care of our physical home, our earthly realm. So what do you love? And how do you want to protect it? I'm not just talking about our personal lives, I'm talking about our collective communities as well. I think a lot of people are going to be fixated and focused on manifesting, right, with the summer solstice, which great. It's always a good time to manifest. but be conscious of what you are already feeding. The light is high. The waters are rising. The heart is being asked to expand. Community is being totally redefined. Intuition becoming harder to dismiss. This portal, these 3 months-ish, is going to be really fast moving, very active, very energizing. And this is because our decision points almost seem to become closer. It's like we have this new clarity that we can lean into. Now, we might still, with the light rising, we're going to notice a lot of internal blocks or barriers, restrictions, resistance. That's going to be rising to the surface. So it's a really great time to just be a witness. You don't have to actively fix and adjust and analyze. Be a witness and focus on what is rising, so we're aware of what we do need to, with water energy, dissolve, right? We can expect that we're going to feel like we can see more clearly. We can feel more clearly. So what are you going to choose to nurture with this new clarity that's going to meet us? What are you choosing to participate in? Because you really are influencing more than you realize, more than you might think. And we have a really big role in shaping our lives. We have a very big role in shaping what our future looks like, what our reality looks like. What do we want to tend to? What do we want to nurture? What do we want more of? To me, this is a season of conscious tending. We're not manifesting harder. We don't have to. We're not hustling harder. We're not forcing harder. We're consciously tending. What has been working? What have you been feeding? What has been blooming for you? Take time to celebrate. Allow yourself to expand into the light. Allow yourself to be that fullest expression. What is working for you, for your communities? And how can we tend to that? Amplify those energies. Now, if you do feel like you need a little bit of support, a little bit of guidance, I do have a very special seasonal frequency alignment to help create some space to reconnect with yourself, reconnect with the higher self, reconnect with your spirit guides and your angels and your ancestors, to give space for that awareness, for those limiting beliefs or the fears, the overthinking, the overanalyzing, the judging, anxiety, stress or worry, to give space to all of that and allow ourselves to work through those energies so that we can move forward consciously, mindfully, and confidently. I'll leave all the information in the video description. I do hope that you have a very beautiful and blessed summer solstice and a fantastic summer season.